best time to do it is in your 20s. When you have no responsibilities, when there's really nothing on your plate, that's the time you need to invest in your personal growth.
Things that I've observed recently, everybody understands the vernacular, but actually doing it sometimes needs coaching.
I think most people were rushing to figure out how to do the job, and once they figured it out, it's like, how do I do the least amount of work? There is no but. It's commitment, commitment. You have some freedom, so not to say you have to work 7 days a week. It's commitment for a couple of years.
What's level 1, 2, 3, 4? So what do you see good level 4 leadership look like that's different than a person who thinks they're a 4 but provides level 3 leadership? Welcome, Gino. We affectionately called Lavorgna. Fun fact for you: Gino was the first hire for Florida Financial Advisors. Is that a true statement?
I was the first one who passed my
all
tests,
the exams.
So I was the first one in. Yeah.
Right. So you weren't the first offer, but you were the first person who showed up to work.
Correct.
Yeah. So this is Take the Power Back podcast. As you folks know, our mission is to take Gen Z to the highest possible level of their career in life by promoting entrepreneurship. And to change the narrative that goes on every single day about who these folks are, the future of our country, and most importantly, how ambitious and hungry that you and I both get a chance to see them every single day and what they're capable of. So I'm really excited to hear your perspective, your journey, how you got to where you are, and where you're going, which I think is even more important. But why don't we start, G? Why don't you tell us what you do today?
Sure. Well, first off, Jason, thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Excited to be here.
Yeah.
So I am currently the Senior Vice President for Florida Financial Advisors.
Yeah.
So I manage a market, is what we call it. So there's 7 offices that report up to me. So I'm in charge of offices all over the country, mostly in Florida, but also in Tennessee and Texas and out west. So keeps me busy. It's fun. Every day is something different. I also have clients too. So when I'm not trying to grow an office or develop people inside these offices, I'm helping clients. So,
yeah. And how many advisors roll up to your market?
250.
So we have 250 technically reports, but and those are in the 7 offices.
Yeah, that's correct.
So it's a big job.
Yeah. It's a traveling job. Yeah.
It's a traveling job, right? It's a traveling job. Yeah. Plus you're number 1 in Florida Financial Advisors as a producer.
Right now I am, yeah. And will be by the end of the year.
You think you'll stay there?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, thank you and congratulations on your success. You've done an unbelievable job. What I want to do is I want to kind of get you where you are and then where'd you start, right? So I've watched you grow because I've known you were the first hire here. And you've had a tremendous amount of growth between now and then. And you continue to get better and better every single year. So it's just a tribute to who you are as a person. Well, let's talk about where that started. Why don't you give us a little background? Where did you grow up? Went to a school? Let's get you to
the Reader's Digest.
The Reader's Digest version. Yeah, right.
So born and raised in Connecticut from a small town of like 12,000 people. So I think I knew early on that it was pretty boring growing up in this town, and I had to get the hell out of there. So, I only applied for colleges in Florida. I don't know what it was. I just had my heart set on getting out of Connecticut and going as far as I thought was possible. So applied to schools in Florida, went to University of Tampa, only because I got the most academic scholarship from there. I applied to like every big school in Florida you could think of, UF, UM. Didn't get into all of them. Got into the one that I wanted, which was University of Tampa. And school was great. I mean, you blink, it goes by, and then you're like, crap, what do I have to do? So I started off by working right out of school for a transportation company, doing like QuickBooks, accounting, back office stuff for a small business. It was about 20 to 25 employees. I was basically like the owner's right-hand man. Like I was talking to clients, I was doing the time and attendance for people, I was doing payroll, I was doing billing, I was doing it all. But then I went into a corporate job, which was at Kforce, because I thought, I'm the owner's right-hand man. There's probably not a whole lot of growth in this company. I don't plan on starting a shuttle or transportation business anytime soon. So I think what most people think out of college was what I did, which was like, hey, I should go take a corporate job, right? A job where I could grow, work my way up the ranks kind of thing. Did that for a year and a day, and I hated every second of it. I think the only reason I stuck around was because I knew it was a good thing, to not quit right away. I was told you're supposed to stay at least a year at every job. So I literally quit a year and a day.
I paid my dues.
I knew right away though. Just people were there on easy street. Like I kind of noticed, luckily, right away that like the leaders around me were just kind of all just coasting. Like they weren't really doing much. Mm-hmm. Like growth wasn't much kind of a thing. I think most people were rushing to figure out how to do the job. And once they figured it out, it's like, how do I do the least amount of work?
Right.
So I kind of recognized that right away. And I'm like, this isn't good for me. I know I need growth. I know I need something. So I basically took a sales job. So I took a 180-degree turn because I knew I needed sales. So something I always kind of thought of was like, I knew I need growth. And, in that type of corporate environment, there was no growth.
So in Kforce, were you in sales or were you in accounting? Or
it was kind of like a accounting gig. It wasn't technically accounting. So the accounting job I had was for the transportation company.
Okay.
I got a job through a buddy from school who they're part of what's called the vendor strategy and delivery team. So it wasn't technically accounting. It was like its own kind of thing within Kforce, but we only dealt with foreign-born candidates. So we had to deal with their visas. We had to book them. We had to negotiate the rates. So it was basically like, hey, I'm in this new team. We're looking for people. I thought that's what you're supposed to do, right? Is like go work for a big company, good experience. Right?
Yeah, it gets your experience.
So it felt like an accounting job. I mean, I was basically punching numbers, staring at a computer. I remember being bored, basically, like from 12 o'clock on. And like, once my work's done, what am I supposed to do?
What am I supposed to do now?
So I remember vividly pretending to be busy all the time in front of my boss because like I didn't want him to throw me more work.
Yeah.
Felt wrong. And looking back, like, thank God I left because I think that is most people's goal, right? Let me figure out this job as quickly as I can so that way I don't have to try all that hard.
So literally the timing was about perfect for you and I to meet, right? So March of 2017, we launched Florida Financial Advisors. Yeah. You must have interviewed in April.
Yeah, I think April like 10th, like the second week of April. Like I was in the office like a month later. Yeah.
So April 10th or something. You meet Hans, Danny. Was it Hans, Danny, and then me? So what was that experience like? So you went to a startup.
Oh yeah, that's why I wanted that role in particular because it felt more like what I'd liked from my previous jobs. Even though I wasn't in sales when I was working for the transportation company, I was working with people. I was, I had a big impact.
Yeah,
which I liked. People were calling me, asking me for their paycheck. People calling me, asking me for routes. Like, what do I need to be doing? Which felt really cool right out of school. So I just liked the fact that I would, had a seat at the table. Like I had a huge impact or could have a big impact. On the business. And I did the gig where you work as an employee and they don't give a shit, really. It's like you do a good job, you work hard. It's like people don't work hard because they don't get recognized. So no, I just knew that it was much better for me and my past experiences to go somewhere where I can get better training, have a bigger impact, and not be stuck like being bored.
So how did you know, we obviously, you've been here the whole time. So the garage days, I call them. Remember the shared space? What was that? What was that place called?
It was on Ashley Street,
downtown.
It was
on Ashley. Co-creative was a co-creative space or something like that. And then we went to Kennedy. It was like 900 feet.
Two offices.
We had two offices.
25 people.
Yeah, 25 people in there. And probably the funnest one was Horatio.
Oh yeah.
We had 50 people there? Yeah. One bathroom, 45 dudes.
Yeah, it was
absolutely insanity. So talk about what you learned going through, because you have to be asking yourself, what the hell is going on here in the startup? It's pretty crazy.
It was every day. I think I was actually blown away at how quickly the company was growing and how successful we were. And so I just was like, I have to keep seeing where this could go. It's like, because it's when you're in it, you're like, how the hell am I going to figure this out? Right. I was brand new into the role. So I'd had a previous sales job. Coming into this role, I didn't really know finance. Right. So in my mind, I'm thinking, how the hell am I going to learn finance? How am I going to get good at marketing, good at sales, and do this all quickly? But I felt myself growing a ton. And that's what kept me around. Like 2 weeks of focused, running meetings. I'm like, holy crap. I feel myself sounding way better. And then I remember vividly, I think it was when I was in management, I covered meetings all day and I thought it was the greatest day ever. It's like, it was so easy. got to help people.
So it was exhausting and fun, exhilarating.
Exactly. Yeah. So it was like, I'm challenging myself. I could see the business is taking off and I see the opportunity. And I also felt the growth happening, which was important. I think what I was looking for, even though it sucked at the time, when you're going through it, is like, I know the growth is happening and that's good. That's why I should probably stay.
Yeah. You knew it was going someplace at that point.
Not just the company, but my personal development. Growth. Personal growth was off the charts. I mean, I went from not knowing sales to now being able to get people to do financial planning, which in my mind seemed impossible.
That's a 22-year-old kid.
Where I never bought stocks. I mean, I think I bought penny stock in college because of this kid in my class.
Crypto back then.
His uncle swore that this company's going to blow up, and it was a penny stock, and never
did. It did. It blew up the wrong way.
Yeah, it blew up the wrong way. No, I think from a personal growth perspective, I was a little bit more mature, I think, which helped me.
Yeah.
And I was 26 starting this job.
Yeah.
I knew if I left, I was going to basically go back to easy street, or what I define as easy street. Maybe not easy, but something where it wasn't growing this quickly. I felt the growth happening because in our job, it's make a phone call, run a meeting, sell a plan, do everything that you're learning. It's like nonstop growth for years and years and years.
Yeah.
I felt it, and I knew that was deep down. It was good. It was good for me.
So I just remember, and it's fuzzy. I'm old now. Older. You've always thought I was old. When there was sort of like, I want to say there was 7 or 8 of us.
Yeah.
Right. It was me and you, Hucky, Danny,
Zach,
Raps. Well, Raps was invited after.
Oh, you're talking about the meeting. Sowers
was
Adonis.
there. Adonis.
Oh, yeah.
We went to Orlando. Yeah. Was that what it was? That was like our first management meeting.
Yeah. We rented a house.
We rented a house. It was actually a lot of fun. So that was our first management meeting where we started to really put meat on the bone. What do you recall from that meeting?
I remember thinking, this is awesome. I think this. Every time to this day when we go to these meetings, I have a list of things I want to talk about. Something I've always appreciated is having a seat at the table.
Yeah.
Learning how decisions are made. Learning more about running those types of meetings. I think I learned a lot about building and sailing a ship at the same time.
Yeah.
So I think
a lot of that.
So I think, maybe a part of me was the business has to be really good before you start expanding and making money and everything got to be perfect. But
no,
it's not true. And I think I learned a ton from that and from you about, being able to hit goals, identify goals while also, building this up and scaling it and systems and processes. So I just got excited about those meetings. I'm like, oh, now we can go fix a system, fix a process. We spend a couple months maybe we can do this better, and we get to go solve it.
Yeah, it's interesting because there's always 22 problems in a business. And I think one of the things that I appreciate about you and others at the table is that everybody was there trying to make the business better.
Oh yeah.
So we're like, okay, let's just all write down what we're good at, what we're not good at. Let's be honest about it. Let's pick not everything, but let's pick 2 or 3 things that we want to go do really well. We used to call them rocks, as you know. And we would go implement it.
Have the biggest impact.
Have the biggest impact on the business, the greatest, best ideas. And then it was like, okay, next quarter, did we do it? Did we not? What are we going to do this quarter? Yeah. And then what are we going to do the next quarter? And then what are we going to do the next quarter? And that's really what started to shape the business.
It's evolved. And what's cool is seeing those meetings happen where it seems like it takes a full week because we can't get anything done because there's a million problems. But now we meet in one day and we don't have to solve a million problems anymore. So I think it's the evolution of those meetings helped a ton because I appreciated having a say. I appreciate being in the room for those conversations. But it was also the fact that hey, last year I remember this meeting took 4 days. Now it's a day and a half, and we're cruising.
We're more productive.
We're a machine. Yeah, we're more productive. The systems are better. The business is better. Everything is just.
Why are we more productive? Why do you think that is the case? Is it systems? Is it people? Is it the combination?
Both. Yeah, I think it's systems, processes. Also the people. We do a great job training people every single day, hiring, developing people internally. So I think the more you have success stories of that, the more people that they touch, the more it impacts, I think, a young person. So I think it helps having good leaders and bunch of people that gone through the same training program. We've all gone through it. Also, our systems are way better. I mean, just think of the calendar back in the day.
Oh my God.
We used to do, and it's more efficient, I think, because everything is now Zoom and virtual. You used to be gone all day. So how do you manage an office and then you're gone all day? So which was a challenge, I think, when I was a new leader. But now it's like the systems are so much better being online. We're way more organized with everything being online. When it used to be papers, I used to have like a box of stuff.
File cabinets.
And a filing cabinet in my house of like stuff that like when I didn't fit at the office, I'd bring it home because I didn't want to look at it. Just papers everywhere. So it was a lot of like figuring out the skills. And then I think you knew the systems, right? You knew the process really well. We just got more efficient and evolved. As more people came, which I've always appreciated, they added more insight. It's like some people bring really good ideas to the table and you're like, that's a really good idea. We should probably try to do that.
We should try to do that. We have to be open-minded to that.
Yeah, which I've always appreciated, right? It's like we're always evolving and growing. And as a business, like what else could you ask for, right?
Right. Yeah, not being like, this is how we do things around here. No, we do them around here now, but we could change.
The good ones change.
The good ones change.
Yeah.
Talk about trials and tribulations, because there was some battles with some people.
Sure.
We've had some fights, and it's our relationship can't be fragile. That's one of our norms. But you've been able to navigate this well and stay the course, even though times were bumpy. Could you talk about some bumpy times that you felt you went through and how you navigated through them?
Sure. I could think of like when I didn't get a promotion, when I thought I was more deserving. I think a lot of it deep down was like belief that I could do it, that I was better, that maybe I wasn't getting the recognition for it. But I think deep down I knew like I could perform better than other people. So it's kind of like, if you're the athlete waiting in the wings, you're better. You just haven't gotten your chance yet. Like, just give me my chance, right? Like, Tom Brady took it from Drew Bledsoe. So I think part of it
still busted by.
Exactly, still hurt. No, I think part of it was me like knowing deep down, like I have way more emotional competence than some people. I think I'm way more mature than most people.
Yeah.
Like I think I can do it. It's just a matter of like going and putting up the numbers, right? So I think I just got really focused on, I know I can do it. Let me go put up the yards, the touchdowns, right? So I could, set myself up nicely for the next role. I also didn't want to be the kind of person where like things get tough, you just run. I mean, I think I've seen that a lot in this job. I never wanted that to be like, am I leaving because I have a challenge in front of me? Or am I leaving because I truly want something else? It's like,
so you didn't let the challenges define you as a quitter of that. Right. You let those define those challenges. So you really wanted those challenges to shape you as your leadership grew, as opposed to define you in a negative way.
Exactly. And I knew did I not like it because of a challenge, or did I not like it because I hated the role?
Yeah.
I like the role. I like being in leadership. I like helping people. So is it just me being cranky or just thinking I deserve more, or just go figure it out, like go knock that pillar down and go figure it out. So
I think that's important because the story goes, you didn't get a position that you thought you should have got.
Yeah. Tampa.
Yeah. I asked you to move and you were like, okay. I moved.
A lot of tears.
A lot of tears, right?
Now current life.
A lot of thing, and said, hey, man, you got to go do it. You're going to have to go prove yourself again someplace else in order to, and then see what happens. And you blindly took a leap of faith and took over a thriving organization and made it better. And what ended up happening is that Tampa came back open and it boomeranged back, right? So talk about your thought process. What was you thinking, I didn't get this job. You could have taken your ball and bat and went home. Instead, you said, I'm just going to go make this happen. So what was your thought process there?
Yeah, I think the thought was we were already successful as a company, right? Yeah. I already loved, the people I worked with at that point. I felt like I'd built relationships, done a good job in understanding the role. I just didn't want to give it up so easily. So it's like I did all this work to figure out how to make a phone call, figure out how to run a meeting, figure out how to run a one-on-one, like all this effort, right? Of like working 12-hour days all the time just to be like, I didn't get my way. That sucks. Let me go somewhere else. Yeah. I think also seeing people do that and make mistakes was good for me. So this job gives a lot of perspective, you know? And I've seen successful people I thought were way smarter than me, way more talented than me, run at the first sight of adversity, or maybe, when things didn't fully go their way. And I'm like, God, like if that person only knew, like if that person had only stayed a little bit longer, had they just kind of sucked it up. Yeah. So I think in my mind, I was just kind of always thinking of like, I just got to see it through. I don't want to be the kind of person where the challenge is laid especially when I knew deep down, I feel like I was better
Yeah.
than the person we're talking about. Like I'm not going to lay
Which
up.
is true.
I'm not going to lay up that. Yeah, life's not going to lay up that easily.
Right.
Like what kind of dad would I be? Like I think about
Right.
that stuff now. Like what kind of, if I want to start a family, right? Like, do I want to be the guy who runs through adversity, or be the dad, the husband who's dealt with that shit, right? Who knows how to teach it to their kids, teach it to their family. So I think I was always in my mind, I'm like, hey, I'm the old mature guy. I shouldn't be the one acting like a child.
Yeah.
I should be the one swallowing my pride and just go make shit happen. So it's a lot of like reminders, I guess, just kind of. And then I also luckily saw successful people I thought could be successful run. I'm like, this is stupid. Like,
It was the wrong decision, no matter how many ways
they did it.
apart,
It was good
right?
because they taught me not to be that way, right?
Right.
Like,
you can observe leadership, good and bad, right?
Yeah.
Good decisions and bad decisions, so you can make better ones going forward.
Exactly. Yeah. And I never wanted, my story, especially here where at that point, I was at every quarterly meeting. I was basically the VP of Tampa.
Right.
Like, we're really going to just leave. Like, I feel like I've had a big impact here. I want to see this through. But I think it was kind of all those things, right? I didn't want that to define me. I wanted to keep challenging myself, growing. And I wanted to stay in the role. Like I love the role. I just didn't get the job I thought I should get. But that didn't stop me whatsoever.
You know what's cool? Ultimately, how many people have you promoted into executive leadership or management gigs or whatever that is in your
management
role?
would be countless.
Countless.
I think I don't know. I think it's 11 or 10 or 11 of like the 19. This was a couple quarters ago. Of the 19 VPs that we have, 11 or it might have been 12 of them were all came through that Orlando office when I was in the VP. So it's cool, right? To say I had a positive impact and I got to touch them, in a positive way.
Yeah.
With their development.
So 11 of the 19.
It's like Ryan Smith, Scarlett, Hoff, Max, Nate, Reese. They're all, I was doing morning huddle with those guys. I was their manager.
Yeah. That's really cool. Ultimately, that's the king of kings, right? When you're a leader, I think a lot of times the weak protect. Nobody can do it as good as me. I think what you've done is done a really good job of basically being like, you can have my job. Everybody can be as good as me. And let me help you find your pathway to get there.
Oh, yeah.
And that makes you the king of kings, right? Which has obviously led for you to become the senior vice president, which was an obvious choice for you.
Appreciate it.
What is your philosophy on how do you find good talent? Like, what do you identify first and foremost? And when you choose an RVP, an FVP, an AVP, whatever those roles have been in different positions that you've had, what do you look for most?
I think it's a healthy balance of, can you do the job? So I think you have to have a track record of, can you put up points, rebounds, assists? Like when you have the rock with 30 seconds to go, like, can you go make a play happen?
It's a level 1, right?
Yeah.
Can you do the job?
Can you do the job?
Right.
I also want level 4 leaders, which they can mobilize a group of people and tie it back to mission, vision, values, and also develop level 3 leaders. But I also think it's norms. So like the way I kind of explain this in interviews, it's like half of it's doing the job, but half of it's also leading from the front, Lombardi time, model week, all the things that we preach. Like if you are the example of the person in the office, everybody will follow suit. So to me, it has to do with behaviors. Like, are you the first one in, last one out? Like if you are the number one guy in the office and you're that way, everything will work itself out. So I'm big on the norms.
So explain that, because probably most of the people that are watching this don't really understand norms. I do, obviously. It's something that I learned from Teresa Hanratty.
You taught me. I thought
years ago,
made it up.
No, I didn't make it up.
Behaviors in the office. Yeah, there's behaviors in the office. I think that they used to say things that used to piss you off, but I think it's going against what you already agreed to, right? So if you said you want to be an advisor, right? Like the standard is here for being an advisor. Norms make sure you keep that standard, right? They make sure you uphold to that. And, what's big for me is like, hey, do you lead from the front? Do you look professional? Do you act positive every day? Are you a positive influence to these young people? Like all those little things. I think it's just like behaviors. But if it's really hard, like we're in a field that's really hard, they have to act that way or they're never going to make it, right? So it's like, here's the standard. Yeah. My job is to lead you to help you get to that point. I don't know if that answers it.
It does. It's one of the things that you've done probably better than any other leader in the company is raise the bar of professionalism. Like grow up.
Yeah.
Whether it's drinking, drugs, whatever, it's about the way you dress, your attire, the way you carry yourself, the way you speak. you've probably done the best job. So you obviously have a different level of standard.
Yeah.
And what would you tell Gen Z? If they want to be you, if they want your job, right, and they're coming in an organization, what would your advice be to them? I believe the best opportunities for career in life don't come through career services. The best way for you to become the best possible version of yourself and to achieve massive levels of success is for you to be hungry, coachable, and try to find those opportunities directly. Take the Power Back was created to flip that switch, to not have any limitations in terms of the opportunities that are out there in front of you. That's what this platform is really all about. Real jobs, real access, real opportunities, and most importantly, no gatekeepers. Are you serious about success? Then let's take the power back. Join the movement. If they want to be you, if they want your job, right, and they're coming in an organization, what would your advice be to them?
Be coachable. And when I say be coachable, it's no ego at any level. So I see it sometimes with once you get a promotion or once you have success, like you stop being coachable. It's like you have to be coachable always. Like even at your age, you're coachable, right? So it's like, just think somebody who's brand new in the job, year 1, year 2, they should for sure be coachable. So in order to be successful, you have to surround yourself with the right people and have no ego. Like, and I mean, no ego, even after some levels of success. And you also have to be committed. So it's commitment with sacrifice. It's not commitment like, oh yeah, I'm going to work hard from 8 to 5 today. It's like, but I'm still going to go to work out. I'm still going to go drinking on the weekends. I'm still going to be basically spaced out on a Monday. It's like, that's not commitment.
No.
That's just working a regular job. So I think if you want to make it right, get in this role, it's literally no ego from start all the way to senior, right? Every step of the progression of the career in like the executive level. But I think it's also, you're going to make sacrifices, right? You will have to go to bed early. You will have to stay late. You will have to work 12 hours a day. And it doesn't mean you have to do that forever. And just do it for 2-3 years. So what I would advise to Gen Z is what used to take 10 years for somebody to be successful now takes 2 because we have technology, we have information at our fingertips. So just be coachable, have absolutely zero ego, and make some sacrifices for a couple years.
And that it's important, right? Because I think you have to be willing to do that for the first couple of years.
At least 2 years.
Instead of 10, it's 2. But if you don't do it for 2, it may never happen. It could take 20 and you'll never get to a level of achievement.
The best time to do it is in your 20s by far. So like I've said this in interviews before. I want to write a book about this, but I think in your 20s is the time to do it. Doesn't mean you can't figure it out, run a business, be successful at 30, but when you have no responsibilities, when there's really nothing on your plate, that's the time you need to invest in your personal growth. And that's all this job is. It's business boot camp. It's investing in yourself, getting better, being an entrepreneur, and teaching others how to be an entrepreneur.
So how do you manage? There's a lot of people out there that say they're busy. They write 500,000 in GDC, and that's just industry term for us. They may have a staff person or something. But what are you going to do? 750 in GDC this year, plus you manage 250 people across 11 states. What
6 states, I think it is.
6 states. What advice would you give to people that are stuck? Their lid, right, is just not big. How do you manage all of that?
Yeah, I think it's with good systems. So something you taught me was when building something, right? Managing clients, reaching out to clients, make it replicable so you can teach it, scale it. So I do have staff. I have help at this point. That's helped a ton in terms of like administrative tasks, time sucky tasks. But I think it's just committing to working a full day. So like, I forget the statistic. I think it's most people don't complete 14 tasks within a day.
It's 6.
There's 6 tasks.
6 actually.
I think I reviewed 7 tickets and sent probably 10 emails before 9 o'clock this morning. So like when you have shit on your plate and you have nobody there to do it, you just get it done. So I think
you just do it.
You just do it. So it's the habits, right? I get up early, and either if I'm getting up early, I don't have work, I get to work out. But if I have work, I got to go to work and get it done. So I think this job has taught me how to work. It's taught me to work a 12-hour day and not feel like it's a big burden. And I've always been somebody who I have a to-do list, and my job is to get everything done today on this to-do list. I think.
How do you balance that? So some people would say, well, I don't want to work a 12-hour day. You just said something interesting. I was like, I worked a 12-hour day. Didn't really feel like it wasn't, you didn't sacrifice anything. So how do you do that and still make it feel good?
I think you do something you love. Right?
Yeah.
It's like, I love the people I work with. I think you've heard me say this, like the reason why I kept saying yes to promotions, because like the people I get to be in charge of are way smarter than me, way more talented than me. It's like, why wouldn't I keep this going? I get to have a huge impact. But this job requires you to make an upfront investment. So like, for some people who maybe have sales skills and maybe know a thing or two, maybe it doesn't require them. For myself, I had to go learn. I had to learn how to run meetings. We used to stay at night and practice all the time. Night before, we used to practice a pitch before going after it the next day. So I just kind of enthralled myself with development. But those habits were like, and then I got into management. And when we're driving over creation, it just was repeating those 12-hour days. Like, it's not 12 hours Monday through Friday, really. It's really 12 hours Monday through Thursday, a couple hours on the weekends. But I think I just got in the habit of getting shit done and working to that capacity. And you don't realize how much you can deal with until you're actually doing it.
Yeah, because you're in motion constantly. I mean, so, it's like if you're busy and busy and busy and busy and busy and there's always things in front of you, then the day goes by really fast.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I blink sometimes on a Monday. It's like 4:00. And I'm like,
shit, we've been working since 7.
At that point, we already had like 5 one-on-ones. I already did like 3 or 4 company calls. So it's like, it's a full day. Don't get me wrong. And then I still also have clients that want to meet. I have clients that reach out. I still have things to prepare for that week. So you can do it all. I mean, I'm proof that you could do it all with good systems, processes, and just accepting that it's going to be a lot of work. I think that was something that was good for me. It was like, I always kind of knew like, I'm not the smartest, but I was willing to put in the work. And so I just kind of continued that. It was a habit, I think, that I formed starting this job, and it's just like normal.
You talk about coaching. So I think you get coached by
no.
Just call Mark Kelly, Ray Kelly.
Yeah.
Can't call Mark Kelly anymore. What have you learned from coaching? Why do you do it? What are some of the so whats that you get from coaching?
Like some of the stuff he says is like so cerebral. You're like, my whole life I've been trying to define that one thing, and you just said it perfectly. So I think it's dealing with level 3 leaders. So I think it's when I was a manager, it was easy for me to go to someone and say, hey, you don't know how to do the job. Let me teach you. Right? I'll tell you everything I know. I'll share with you my follow-up emails, my calendar, everything you need. I'm here to help you. But then you start dealing with more mature leaders, or you start dealing with folks who know how to do the job. So I think it's a lot of, okay, how do I become level 4, level 5, and how do I develop them to become better leaders? Not just teach them how to do the job, but teach them how to become better leaders. And I think, what he provides is a lot of, hey, I'm having trouble getting this message across. What would you do in this instance? Or I have a leader who says all the right stuff, doesn't do it. What I ask him to do, what would you do?
Right.
And he's just so like, I mean, he's basically, we call him Luke Skywalker because of Doug. But no, I think it's now I know how to develop a new guy. I think it's easy to develop somebody brand spanking new, but it's like, how do you go and have an impact on someone who knows how to do the job?
Or worse, it's how do you develop somebody who thinks that's the one. The guy who says I'm a level 4, who's actually a level 2.
Oh yeah.
So let's actually, because people that watch this don't know 1 through 5. So could you go run through what's 1 through 5?
So 1 is when you tell me to do the job, I know what to do. I can do it. Level 2 is I can identify problems.
So you can do the job
and identify problems. Yeah. So so I should preface it by saying every time you go up a level, it like covers what's beneath. So if you're level 1, that means you know how to do X. You know how to do the job. If you're level 2, it means you know how to do the job and you can identify problems. If you're level 3, that means you know how to do the job. You can identify problems, and you can also come up with solutions.
Oh, we like 3s.
We like 3s. We like 4s and 5s even more.
Even better. But 3s we like.
3s we love.
Because they actually can do stuff.
Well, instead of saying, hey, this is effed up, they come to you say, hey, here's what I see in terms of like, it's taking a long time for this process. Here's a solution. Like, oh my gosh.
Thank you.
It's amazing.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Thank you for that. And then level 4 could do level 3 tasks, which is knows how to do the job. They could identify problems, they could come up with solutions, and they can mobilize a group of people, tie it back to mission, vision, and value. That's a level 4 leader. And a level 5 leader could develop level 4s. So people who could do the job, identify problems, come up with solutions, mobilize a group of people, tie it back to mission.
So this is important, I think, in building any company from scratch, no matter what stage you are. The power of having a factory of level 4 leadership is is unbelievable.
That's all I say in my meetings now.
That's all we say.
How do
right?
how do we get here?
What does it look like in action? Because I think that's one of the biggest things that I've observed here especially recently. Everybody understands the vernacular or the vocabulary associated with what's level 1, 2, 3, 4, but actually doing it sometimes needs coaching. So what does level 4 look like? What do you see good level 4 leadership look like that's different than a person who thinks they're a 4 but provides level 3 leadership?
Yeah, I think they have a pulse on everybody in their office, or if it's not an office, if it's my role, they have a pulse with each office. They know exactly what that person kind of wants for themselves. They've identified like personal goals, professional goals, and they also can rally a group and get people together. So
how do they do it?
Get people in a room. I mean, I think the best leaders, or the ones that are the best at this, are they can get a bunch of people in a room and get them to drive one result, or get them to all accomplish a common task together. Yeah. So I think it's more so, can you go tell people to do it, or can you go lead people in a room and get everyone to do it together?
Yeah.
Instead of just telling people what to do.
So it's time blocking it out. Communication is key. Getting everybody at the task. So instead of one person taking 10 hours, it takes 10 people 1 hour to do whatever that.
Yeah. And if you're tying it back to mission, vision, right? This could even get even more granular. Tie it back to their mission, their vision, tie it back to their witty whiff, tie it back to their why, or tie it back to the office why. But that's mobilizing, right? That's getting a bunch of people say, hey, we have a problem, or hey, we got to fix this. I need all you guys come in a room and let's go fix this together. Like that's any good general, right? It's any good coach, any good leader, right? That's like, let's go figure this shit out as one, not you go solve this for me.
Now, I've noticed this is something that you do exceptionally well, about the way you think through how it fits. So whenever we're dealing with process, it's like, okay, we have a problem, we've identified the problem. Sometimes it's got to go identify the problem. You can find it. But then where is your leverage points? How do you apply leverage points in order to solve a problem consistently?
I guess it depends on the problem. So if you're talking like business problems, I think I just go and ask the best people, right? Mm-hmm. So if somebody has like, you call it the Jenga block, right? Yeah. If somebody has something else that they're doing, again, what got me to where I'm at is being ultra coachable. Even when I felt like I knew more, I'd still take the feedback and kind of swallow my pride at times. I would go find people. So I'd always ask. And I always, to this day, I still feel people I'm in charge of way smarter, more talented than me. Yeah. So whenever there's something broken in some office, I just go seek it out and go look for help in another office or somewhere else where they're doing it really well. It's like, okay, clearly your numbers, when it comes to passing tests, for example, it's been our kind of rock past couple weeks. So it's like, what do we need to do? Let's go call this person. Let's go jump on a call with these people. Let's go figure out how they do their process. Let's go inspect them. Let's go learn from them. So that way we can learn.
So that's a level 4 right there, right? So there's one person has a problem. So what we do is we go set up different times with different people to look at their processes, to ask questions, and then identify what that problem is.
And learn from it, yeah.
And then learn from it and then grow. Yeah. And you do a really good job at saying, where does it fit in the one-on-one, right? Where's the inspection?
Yeah, I think it's inspection.
It's inspection, right? And then how do I solve whatever I find from inspection? What have you learned from inspection? What does that mean? Like,
inspect what you expect.
Inspect what you expect. What does that mean?
It means if you're not inspecting, shit's not happening.
Right.
So something you used to always say, and I've learned this because I get to,
live it every day.
Every one-on-one. It's, have you inspected this person? Have you watched them? Yeah. And then once you inspect them, you'd be shocked to learn. So inspect what you expect isn't just, oh yeah, I've seen that person one time.
Yeah.
They're good at their job, but they're good at running a meeting. They're good at passing a test. They're good at whatever it is, making a phone call. Inspect what you expect is actually sitting there and observing people. Right. So just demonstrating a skill is one thing. I think demonstrating a skill and watching them one time is one thing, but when somebody's numbers aren't good or somebody's struggling, it requires an extra layer of you watching film, watching them. Because if not, people stop doing what works. People start doing what they think is better. You just end up, running circles around yourself without actually getting to the root of the problem. And all you would have to do most of the time when you identify a problem is just go dig and inspect like a donkey.
Yeah. I find that to be the case. A lot of times when something's broken and I'm leading somebody and they said, well, I've done everything, right? What that basically is them telling you haven't inspected. So what you have to do is get closer to the work.
Oh, I mean, like you have to become the work.
You have to become
do it with that person. Yeah.
And if you then get close to the work, you'll actually see that what they said was happening and was actually taking place, nothing even close to being the same.
I think that has to do with like leadership experience, because like the demonstrate, observe, confirm.
Yes.
I think as a firm, we teach class. I teach twice a day, every day, which I love. So I'm teaching, I'm demonstrating always. And I knew this from myself as a leader. Just demonstrating is not how you teach.
Yeah.
How you teach is demonstrating and also observing that
Correct.
person giving live feedback. So to me, that's how I learned, was you giving me live feedback. People around me coaching me, giving me live feedback. So I know it takes an extra layer of, okay, we can demonstrate this in order for this to be implemented correctly. It requires us to make sure it's happening. It's just any good company, any good coach, right, is making sure that they're running the right plays, right? They're studying the right film, they're doing all the right stuff, even after they've had varying degrees of success.
Yeah. Because it slips. It's not always the same.
Or it could go backwards. I mean, the numbers are broken. You got to go inspect it. Like you can't just assume. So I think it's just teaching that to young leaders, because they're like, oh, I watched him run a meeting. He's good. Or I watched him inspect. Yeah. He's good. It's like, well,
Really?
when's the last time you watched him?
Right.
It's been a while.
It's been
been over a year. It's like, well, the numbers aren't really good. So what else could we be doing, right? Get close to the work, observe, and you'll find a lot of learnings. So I did this a lot as a VP. I would be like, hey, if somebody's numbers were struggling, I'd be like, I'm the prospect. Follow up. How would you follow up with me? Like I would make them do their actual full process.
Okay, so you would see it.
I'd see it, yeah.
Right. You'd know if it's not right away.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you could tell almost instantly. Like when it's when things aren't, when I'm teaching one way so people learn structure, and you could tell right away when somebody starts going off the rails, or it just feels like they're kind of spitballing a little bit. It doesn't have structure to it. So like if I'm using a meeting as an example, or running a career preview as an example, it's like you could tell right away when people are following the structure, because obviously I know the structure. But you can also tell when people are like kind of like getting jittery and trying to think of things on the fly. You're like, this is not good. Too much discretion.
So here we are, right? So it was April or May of 2017 you started?
Yeah. I got laid off from my old job, and I only luckily got laid off. So, and I was only looking for advisory jobs at that point. So I applied to Morgan, I applied to all of them, Fisher, Ray J. Because I knew at that point I wanted to be an advisor.
How did you know you wanted to be an advisor?
Previous job. So like I had, I had a very corporate-y type of boring job. I took a flyer on a sales job, went through 5 rounds of interviews with no sales background, got the job, which I don't understand how to this day. My territory was the state of Florida. Yeah. So like I was a salesperson in Florida without any sales background. They told me they gave me the job because of eagerness. And I honestly didn't want to go back to K4. So I did everything I possibly could to prepare for those interviews. And it was an HR outsourcing company. So I always knew I needed to learn sales, but I didn't feel like a salesperson. I felt like I was helping people. So like I would go to a business owner, say, hey, I can make you more efficient. We can get you time and attendance. We can help you, process-wise, make it all online, and also offer you insurance bundled with it. So I had to get an insurance license. My title was small business advisor.
Got it.
So I was like, I'm helping business owners. It's pretty cool. I'm making them more efficient. I like it. I'm helping people with sales. I'm making decent money. I'm making commissions. I'm like, and my title was literally small business advisor. I'm like, maybe I could do this on an individual level. So instead of me just selling HR services, I'm like, now I got to go learn stock. I got to learn real estate. And that shit was cool to me, because I think at 25, the only thing I really would read about was like how to buy real estate, how to buy stocks. It's like the only thing that kind of was interesting was like stuff about money. So I was like, why? I know I can help people. I know I can run my own business, which I want to do someday. Yeah. And I get to learn about shit that I'm actually like care about. At that point, I was like, luckily,
I'm sold.
I knew I wanted to be an advisor.
So I know you said I can't ask you how much money you make, but tell me how's it been for you?
Life's good.
Life's good.
Life's very good. I was able to accomplish a lot of goals, I would say, like life goals that I've had for myself at a young age. So I've always wanted to buy my parents their retirement home, and did that at 31. Always wanted to buy a Rolex, did that a few weeks ago.
Yeah. Congrats.
So yeah, I mean, life's good. I mean, I would say I want to still continuously build up my client base and build up the offices I manage and the people I'm in charge of. The goal is to make, you heard me say this, $1 million a year. Yeah. Like that's always been the goal.
How long do you think it'll take you before you get there?
2 more years. 2028. If it's not in 2028,
if the pays out, once the options pay out, it'll
put you over the top.
It'll put you way over the top. You might make it. You might make it next year. Yeah, you could get there depending on the year.
If it doesn't happen in 2028, something's wrong.
Oh yeah, something would have had to dramatically have gone wrong in 2028.
Because I still make an investment in my business. I still want to grow client base. I still have, I still want to grow. I want to start building up real estate some more. So absolutely.
So did you sell the condo?
I sold the condo.
Okay.
I still have a house that I rent out.
Yeah.
Primary house, and then I bought my current primary.
Yeah.
The homestead, and then my parents they have a townhome.
They have 3 properties right now. Yeah. Good. So talk about you. Congratulations, first and foremost, Luigi.
Oh, thank you.
Luigi's 3 weeks old.
Yeah.
So you just had a baby boy. So what's next? What does that look like for you as a dad, as a leader, as a business owner, practitioner, as a real estate entrepreneur? What does that look like for you?
I can't wait to teach him level 4 leadership. That's all I think about. He's all the things that took me 30 years to learn about leadership and people and sales and persuasion, all that stuff. I'm like, this kid's so lucky. He's going to know all this stuff. Like,
he's going to be a 5-year-old stud.
Like, what type of leader are you being right now? You're not being level 4.
Exactly. You're just bringing me problems. Don't bring me your problems. Solve those, please.
I mean, I wish I got that at a young age. I get excited because I want to teach him all the stuff I've learned, about people and about hard work and about good habits, right? All the things that were instilled in me through this job. I also am excited to be involved with all his stuff, right? So one of the perks of this job is,
beautiful.
I go home, do meetings sometimes 7 o'clock at night, but I will be at every big graduation, big milestone. I will be coaching. I will be that parent who probably sees another person do it. And I'm like, no chance I'm going to let that person coach my kid and do a bad job. So if there's other parents out there doing a good job, I'll probably let them do their thing. But if it's a parent
taking your job,
I'm
coming for you.
Look, I guess I'm a coach now. So I just want to be involved, be there, spend time as much as I can with the family, with my wife. It's just, weekends are much different now. Going home is much more exciting. It's fun.
Christmas will be more fun.
It's fun. Yeah. I mean, we're talking, we're going to parks, he's 3 weeks old and we want to take him everywhere already. He's not going to remember, obviously, but it's just fun for us. It's new and exciting.
It's awesome. Congrats, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah. I can't wait till he's old enough where I can teach him all this stuff.
Fun. Part of what we're doing this for is take the power back. As you know, this has become my passion project, which is baked on me being pissed off at Handshake.
Yeah. I mean, I think I have some experience with that with UT.
Well, I was going to ask you about, would you share what you know about, and you've done a really good job of managing that relationship. So there's nothing personal against UT, but it's a problem. It's an issue, and it's an issue at UT. It's an issue at every university, most universities around. But what has been your experience? Because you've lived this. You've had to go fight for us.
Oh yeah, multiple times. I try to meet with the dean. Like I try to schedule meetings relentlessly with the dean at the University of Tampa. So something I didn't know when I was a student there, because I wasn't the kind of student going on Handshake, but is that the school will control what jobs to get posted. So it's not really every job is going to be available to every student. That's not quite how it works. It's much more political than that, which I was kind of shocked to hear that because I think business school, I think folks want to get into financial advising. Like that's a lucrative field.
It's a very lucrative field.
It's a great field. It's one that's has a whole lot of upside, as you know, with
as we know,
all these people, the baby boomers transferring their wealth. So it was something I was like shocked by that, because of the role, because of Handshake, like UT didn't want to post a job or they didn't feel comfortable posting jobs because of what they defined as success or what they defined as the right role, which I thought was the absolute dumbest thing on the planet. So I wanted them to hear my story. Like, look, I came from that realm. I was one of them.
Yeah, exactly. You went to school there.
And now I'm having all this success. Why wouldn't you promote this story? Why wouldn't you promote this job? You don't think there's other kids there that would want to learn how to be an entrepreneur? Like this is learning how to be a business owner. Like it's business school, right? We say business boot camp. Who wouldn't want that? Like, are you kidding? Like I can guarantee there'd be some students who'd be interested. So I kind of took that, complained to the dean, and then I ended up meeting with career services a few times. And they're like, look, we understand you're on our good graces now, but my message to them was, I shouldn't have to fight you guys to post any job, like especially at a school where we're paying a ton of money for. I would think like the parents would want to know all jobs are being all jobs that my kid could go get are being posted and they're available to my kid.
Not filtered.
Not filtered, not some lady who has no experience deciding what's best for my student. Like that, to me, that just blew my mind. And that's what I kept repeating. Like, what do these people know? These people with no background in finance, what do they know about the career?
And you just, just to make sure everybody hears that or understands it, you literally went to that school.
I showed up.
You showed up, you basically went to career services and met with I won't say his name, but met with him and said, what is the problem here? And then they wouldn't even tell you.
They basically wouldn't meet with me.
They were like, no, we don't want to meet with you. We don't condone those types of positions. And
correct.
We had a student that didn't have a happy experience with you, which I don't even know if that was true or not. And you asked, who was it? And they wouldn't tell you.
Right.
It was BS. So then you went
politics.
It was all politics, right? And then you went above. You went to the dean.
Oh, I mean, I relentlessly every other day till I probably left a voicemail, sent an email until somebody responded.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, this is the craziest shit I ever heard. I'm somebody's story that you guys should promote, not like completely axed from Handshake. And then eventually they reached out. We're like, thank you for reaching out. And I think it ruffled feathers with career services a little bit to get us back in good standing. Yeah. But my question to them was exactly that. It's like, who are you to decide? Like, what do you know what your students want or don't want? Like, how many finance kids in here are thinking about being an advisor? Probably a good amount.
Yeah. And how many do we have? How many successful people do you know that went to UT that work for us in some capacity?
Oh my gosh. There was one event, and this was right around the time that I was fighting with UT, but there was one event, I think we hired like 6 or 7 kids directly from that event. Right. Like, it's the best job for young people. And I'm biased when I say that, but like, I learned how to work 12 hours a day. I learned good habits. I learned how to get shit done. I learned how to run a business. I learned marketing. I learned sales. Like,
you learn leadership.
A ton.
You get stock in a company. You own your own business inside of that company. Like, what else could you ask for?
There is no better job. There is nothing that school could teach you where you're going to get that type of learning. Like, absolutely none. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, it was kind of being cranky, but like, this is crazy to me. And I think that kind of message was maybe started Take the Power Back. This was a couple years ago, but that was the start of what I remember Handshake being like, what the hell? I thought this was like a place for all students to go look for any job. Like, isn't that what job boards are for?
And really it did. It's because that was the one that probably annoyed us the most. And you're the one who got us back in there because
it's in our backyard.
It's in our backyard.
And I went there. I'm like, how the hell could they not approve us? Like, that's what I said to our recruiting team. Like, well, how the hell would they not approve us?
That doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense.
So
you just showed up.
I just showed up.
So great.
And I don't think they necessarily love that. But my message to them was like, hey, I got to where I'm at because I followed up and because of my persistence. So give me an answer. Like, tell me why. And they couldn't tell me why. Yeah. And I just kept complaining enough. And they just like, fine.
We're just sick of you coming and showing up here.
But it's not just UT, right? UT was the one that I fought. Think about how many schools parents don't even know.
Go on and on.
I mean,
JMU,
business
University
owners.
of Miami. The one that drives me crazy is University of New Hampshire. You personally hired hundreds.
I was going to say, you ran the New Hampshire
successful. Office. I built that office from scratch. In Boston, I hired hundreds of wildly successful people today.
When they were
huge entrepreneurs that went into work and learned leadership, learned business, learned how to do all that stuff, and are now wildly successful. I can't post a job there.
It makes zero sense. And I think if you ask any business owner parent, they would also agree with you. It makes absolutely no sense.
Makes no sense.
Why wouldn't you want to promote entrepreneurship to your kid?
Yeah.
I think it shouldn't be up to career services to decide that. It should be up to the students to decide that. And it's not saying, this is what I would say to UT. It's like, we're not saying you get a job here. We're saying come apply. Like, they still have to go. Still have to go through a career preview. Yeah. They still have to. They vet us out, learn what the job is, understand the studying process. Yeah. Like, that doesn't mean they're all going to come here. We're just trying to post a job. Isn't that the point of posting jobs? Is people learn, go through that experience?
That's crazy.
They just didn't have any real good answers for me, so I just kept hounding them.
So that's what you do, pretty much.
Pretty much it.
Well, Gino, it's been absolutely fantastic to watch your growth and success. Thank you for doing an unbelievable job at helping us build this company. You're a major player and a major part of it. Super excited for your future because as you know, I won't be here forever. But I believe that people like yourself will be continuing to take this organization to the next level. So thank you. Any last words of advice for somebody getting out of college or at our company that should be thinking about?
Yeah, I think if you're not quite sure what to do in your life, you like helping people, try this job. Like this is the ultimate job of helping people, but you will get vastly more experience and you will get personal growth galore just by throwing yourself into a role like this. So if you're the kind of person who's like, I really don't know what I want, I like helping people, I like money, I like business, there's aspects of the job that you may like. Give this job a whirl, because where you will be a year, 2 years from now, looking back, is wildly more mature, wildly more just polished, I think, as a business person. That would be the first thing. Second thing would be, if you're if you're young and you're like, I'm committed, but you're not committed. Right. So it's there is no but. It's commitment, commitment. You have some freedom. So not to say you have to work 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Yeah. It's commitment for a couple of years. Yeah. So, we know this with technology and the way we get leads and stuff. Right. It used to take hours to find a lead. Now we get leads at our fingertips. Yeah. So just commit to something. Do it when you're young, because that's the best time to do it. And no buts. Just get it done. Right.
Do you use AI? Are you using AI?
Every day.
What do you use it for?
Sometimes sending a more professional, polished email. Yeah. Sometimes it's running cash flow details. So the last few like retirement scenarios I ran was like, hey, build out these cash flow. A lot for messaging, a lot for summarizing things. So someone's, if it's like an Orion or it's an article, about the market, summarize it so I get like the snapshots. So it's bringing me more information at my quicker.
Great. Well, thank you again, buddy. Appreciate you. Can't wait for the next 5 years. Thank you.